Hi friends, it's Suzanne here from sunstampin.com. I'm a Canadian Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I wanted to welcome you to another Wildcard Wednesday video on my YouTube channel and blog. For today's card, I am using the Awesomely Artistic stamp set as well as the Tabs for Everything stamp set. I have a piece of watercolor paper that I have stuck down to a hard board and used some frog tape. Now I am using my Brusho Crystal Colors. This is yellow, and I'm tapping lots of the yellow on and very little of the blue, just in the bottom right corner. And then I also did sort of one little splotch up to the left. So now I have a spray bottle. I like having a spray bottle as opposed to a little tiny spritzer. I find I don't have to get up and refill it all the time because, you know, I'm lazy and I also have a sore knee. So sometimes I don't like to get up. Okay, so I am stamping in Tranquil Tide and the bush type plant that comes in the Awesomely Artistic stamp set. I don't know what kind of plant this is, and I don't know what color it's supposed to be. So my first, like when you're dealing with watercoloring, sometimes you put like a light wash of color and let it dry, and then you can go in and add more colors. So that's kind of what I did here, but I'm using my blends alcohol markers from Stampin' Up! To do my second layer of color. So this is the more detailed color. It is, I'm going to be using my light and dark Bermuda Bay here, and also the Old Olive, which is going to be for the stems and sort of the outer branches. I have no, like I said, I really need to take a lesson in botany because I have no idea what kind of a plant this is. And you gotta wonder, you know, like, is it a flower? Is it just a bush? Like, I'm not 100% sure. So anyway, I decided to make it blue and slightly green, and my overall color scheme for this card was blue. So, and well, bluey green, put it that way, because I started off with yellow and blue to make a greeny color as well. And now I'm going in, like I said, with the Old Olive. And the blends work fantastically over top of watercolor paper. So feel free to do that. Okay, so now I have Bermuda Bay and Night of Navy. So I inked up my Dragonfly with Bermuda Bay, and then I daubed on a little bit of Night of Navy, and I went right over top of that sploosh. So I wanted to make it sort of a little bit surreal, nothing too accurate. And you never know with Brusho what you're going to come up with, right? So it did give me some like that first layer of color underneath that Dragonfly. So this is Night of Navy, and I'm adding on some little splotches. And then I'm using Old Olive for my leaves. Some are going on full strength, and some I will stamp and then do a generational stamping, a second stamping, or even stamping off, just to create a little bit more of sort of depth. And I'm going sort of for this vintagey kind of look. So it's a mixed media inspired card. So with mixed media, we all know it's just all about layers, how you layer something. So we have our Brusho layer, then we have our blends layer, then we have our ink layer. I'm using two different colors of black. One for the archival black for the friend because it stamps so beautifully with the red rubber, and then the Memento Tuxedo black just because I like to use that for my photopolymer stamps because it doesn't stain, and I like to be able to see through my stamps. Okay, so now I'm using Bermuda Bay and a dauber. I just happen to have my dauber handy, so I am edging in very softly the color around the edges. And I've had many people ask me about what this little plastic mat is. It is called a blending mat. It comes from a company in the United Kingdom. It was a gift from my friend Karen, who's in England, and she sent me this, which I'm extremely thankful for. So Karen, if you're watching, I love this, my blending mat. All right, so I'm squeezing a little bit of Wink of Stella onto an acrylic block and then flicking it. Still haven't got 100% the hang of this. I'm trying to get more of a fine mist instead of a bigger droplet. I always tend to get the bigger droplets. Anyway, that's a personal problem. I have a double string of linen thread here. I'm going to tie it in just a tie, and then I'm going to do a little knot a bow. And I did have to use my tweezers, and I cut that out of the video because I struggle with bows on video. So this is my Whisper White thick card base that I am using. And I also have some fast fuse that I'm putting on the back of this watercolor paper. So I use Canson watercolor paper. It's a student grade watercolor paper, extremely affordable. And I usually go into Michael's with my 50% off coupon because I have to craft on a budget. Anyway, thanks so much for joining me, and I'll catch you again soon. Bye. Hey, thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. On screen are 2 more videos for inspiration. Click on the maple leaf to visit my website, or click on me to subscribe to my channel. Thanks again for watching.